Hey guys, it's Shadow the Rat, and for today's video, I'm going to give you an update on Miss Donut here. So as you can see, she has indeed had her surgery. She had several lumps removed, and the surgery went well. Unfortunately, not all news is positive, but as far as positive news goes, she did make it through just fine, and on top of that, she is also recovering very quickly, despite having her entire belly shaved. And all these incisions, you can see that she is very active, and this is actually her first time free-ranging. This is her 2.5 day anniversary from surgery. And I say that because she was at the vet's for a day, and then after that, I had her home for a day and a half before letting her come out. She's actually at the vet's for a little longer than we expected because she wouldn't eat the food that we brought with her there. It turns out she was just holding out on us because as soon as one of the vets gave her a slice of banana, she went ahead and immediately ate it. So she was just waiting for some banana, and they also gave her some apple. And when she got that, she was very happy and more than happy to eat. And after that, she finally pooped, which was the main thing we were waiting for. The vets didn't want to send her home until she had done so because they wanted to make sure that she was, in tip-top shape and everything was working. Did you close yourself in there, Banana? But yeah, they wanted to make sure that her body was working, her digestive system was doing its thing, and the best way to do that is just to wait until she's pooped. So that's what we waited for. And it was actually kind of funny because I called the vet office several times. I was supposed to pick her up in the morning on Wednesday, but I didn't get to pick her up until afternoon. And when I finally called her that last time, I was literally so ready to pick her up that I answered the phone with something like, "Hey, it's Esther. I'm calling about my pet rat Donut. She got a tumor removal surgery. Has she pooped yet?" So, basically I got straight to the point and had a bit of a laugh of that with the receptionist because, well, what are you gonna do? When you have pets, you get excited about these things. It means that she's in good health, so I can be excited that she has finally pooped. Anyways, I'm very happy that she's doing well, and she is very excited to see everyone again. She's been living with Olive for the last day and a half, and she is very excited to be back with all her cage mates. She was pretty happy to be with Olive in particular. They've been living in the second cage here. You'll see that I switched out the space pod for a wooden house, and I also switched out the bedding for some crinkly stuff instead of just fabric stuff. And I switched in the crinkled bedding because Donut was very unhappy with the fabric stuff because she couldn't burrow under it, and Donut is a big burrower. And the vet actually told me when I got Donut that the crinkled paper was fine to use with her post-surgery, so I went ahead and just switched her over to the paper stuff full time because I figured that, well, the vet said it's safe, and also it makes Donut less stressed, so that is a good thing. Now on top of all that, I gave Donut the wooden house because she started to chew on the space pod, which is something she usually doesn't do, so I presume she did it because she was stressed being in the small space. Donut is not a rat that likes small spaces, so even though she is technically supposed to be recovering, she is not very happy with her limitations. And I think she's very happy to be doing some free range again. After today, she will be going back in the main cage, and I'm not too concerned about that because as you can see, she is getting around well. Another thing I wanted to talk about briefly is how she's reacting to having stitches. One thing rats are known for is occasionally self-mutilating, especially after they get surgery. So this is something you need to be really careful about. Sometimes people have to give their rats a small cone of shame or put a sock on them. However, in this case, Donut does not need any of that. One of the key things here is that the vet gave her a good dose of Medicam, and she takes that every 24 hours. So that is a big reason that she's not trying to pick at her stitches because she's not in pain, which is a really good thing. Now, Donut actually was licking them a little bit excessively at the vet, so we weren't quite sure if she was going to start picking at them, but it seems like that was just a stress thing because after coming home and getting to be with Olive, she stopped doing that, and now she is completely ignoring them and just grooming a normal amount. Anyways, overall, things seem to be going really well with Donut's recovery, and I expect her to just continue along this path. I will be keeping an eye out for any infections or things like that, but the vets did put Donut on an antibiotic alongside the anti-inflammatory / painkiller, so hopefully we're not going to be dealing with anything like that. Unfortunately, Donut is not a fan of the antibiotic flavoring. They mixed it with some sort of artificial cherry, and it smells awful. I mean, it smells like one of those cough syrup things, just so gross, and Donut seems to agree with me. I have to mix in so much baby food to get her to take it because she is not a fan. And I also have to give her the Medicam, which is the honey flavoring, like I mentioned last time, that the rats aren't huge fans of. But it's not too much of an issue because it's a pretty subtle flavor, so not too hard to mix it with something and cover it up. Unlike the cherry flavor, which is just way too strong. But anyways, that's what we have to deal with, and you know, if I have to push it, I will. Right now, giving it in baby food and yogurt is seeming to work pretty well, but you know, gotta do what you gotta do. And Donut, we do need you to get better, so take your medicine, you little turd. That's it for most of the updates and good news. As far as the bad news goes, the main thing is just the fact that the vet did find a third lump. They actually called me right before doing surgery saying something along the lines of, hey, we were checking Donut over right before surgery and we found a third mammary tumor, or suspected at that time mammary tumor, and they asked if I wanted it to be removed at the same time as the others. And of course I said yes. I mean, Donut was going under anyways, and this one was quite small, probably popped up in the last day or two before surgery, so I wanted it removed as soon as possible. Anyways, this is unfortunate news because 3 mammary tumors popping up in 3 months is not great. It does mean Donut likely will get more in the future, and these might also come back. And that leads to another bit of unfortunate news because the vet did try to remove all the affected mammary tissue, but she isn't sure if she was able to get all of it because the tumors were actually larger inside than they appeared. So they could potentially come back, you know, if not all the affected tissue was removed. It's hard to say, but you know, we just have to play it by ear and watch Donut and see how she does. Now you might wonder if we chose to send these tumors into the lab and figure out exactly what they are. We chose against that, and that's because it would be almost $300 more. So, you know, very pricey on a surgery that was already $500 or nearly $500. It was like $480 something. And sending the tumors in really won't do anything other than tell you if they're cancerous or not. And the only thing that information really does, other than give you peace of mind, is it informs you on whether or not you want to do another surgery in the future if the tumors come back. So if you're dealing with something that's highly aggressive and cancerous, you might choose against surgery because it's just not worth it for the rat to be recovering from that if they don't have very much time left. On the other hand, if you're dealing with something benign and slow growing, then surgery is more worth it because it's more likely to give your rat more time and more quality of life. Overall, this sort of information is not really going to influence how you treat the tumors going forwards. It might influence if you do surgery or not, but otherwise, you know, it's not a huge influence, and really, if you do surgery or not also depends on a lot of other factors, like how your rat is dealing with the tumors. Are they getting skinny? Are they still active? You know, so forth. So there's a lot of things to consider there, and so I don't think it's too essential that we get this procedure done. And I will not be getting it done. Although the vet did tell me they can hold Donut's tumors in a jar at the clinic, so that's what they're doing. And if in the future we decide we want to actually get them tested, then we can have those sent in. So I thought that was pretty funny and also really nice of them. Anyways, that's pretty much the bad news, you know, that these tumors are popping up pretty quickly and that they will likely come back in the future or possibly even regrow. But in general, everything is going pretty well because Donut is recovering, and that is the main thing we need to be thinking about right now because, you know, Donut is getting up there rat age-wise. She's not super old, but she is in that age range where tumors are becoming more common, so I'm not completely surprised by this. You know, I was a little bit shocked to see 3 tumors in such a short time period, but overall, I'm just glad we were able to get them removed and that she is doing well, and I expect her to make a full recovery. That's pretty much it for this update. I might do another video where I talk more about kind of what we're doing recovery-wise, and also maybe show you an itemized breakdown of the costs, because I think that's really interesting, so you can see just some of the different procedures they do and how that kind of adds up, and also talk about some of the things that we opted out of that can be extra costly that aren't always necessary, like blood work panels. But that would be for another video because this one's already pretty long and I am a little bit tired, so I'm going to go ahead and end this here. Okay, I will see you guys later. Bye!